Hey Gino, welcome back on the stream. We just switched to part two of the
Oh,
stream,
nice.
as of course we had.
That means we passed the halfway mark.
Yes, we're currently on 6 hours into the race. So currently we are watching with Rudy Versteeg from Red Lantern Racing, who is residing in P4. It's number 3 is in front of him with 22.3 seconds lead. So Gino, you're just getting out of the car, I assume, and John just stepped into the car. I saw you battling for P6 actually, and every time, 2 times in a row, when you just passed, you were not able to keep it on track. What was happening there, Gino?
I think my nerves got the best of me. I thought it was a good move on the inside the first time. It
Yeah,
was not. I could have kept the car out of the wall, so that was nice.
yeah,
And the second time, I don't know what happened exactly. I went on the throttle too fast, and then
yeah,
I went into the wall.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah, it was a tricky situation. I think the nerves got the best of me.
yeah. There you see
Um,
how Lecombe can be very tricky when you come with this high speed. You come on, you brake a little bit too late or get too fast on the gas again, and that can indeed create a trickier situation where we saw you, yeah, just losing the front, getting it into the wall.
yeah,
How was the car afterwards?
it felt good. I had about my top speed was 550 of sorry 251 instead of 252 255 on the Camel Straight, so not that bad. But then 3 or 4 laps later, I totally missed the corner and I binned it in the wall. And I took my our final fast repair.
Okay.
So the car is repaired right now. It's good. I lost it in Blanchiment.
Ah, yes, I saw that one, yeah. Yeah, thanks Bart for the support. And everybody watching, of course. You can donate via the links in the description.
See, we already raised 463 euros. Thank you very much, everyone who donated. So Yannick, how's it going with the broadcasting?
Hey, it's going well. John joined me and Georgie from VR Racing, so let's hope, and you, of course.
And we have solo drivers, but you also have solo commentators, right?
Yes, so it's me today. Of course, I'm the lucky one that somebody can join in, and I can have a talk with, which is very lovely to do. Of course, also here as a broadcaster to support this good cause. As also John mentioned, he's not only he had to fight on track, but also is a survivor of cancer. So I'm very happy to support such a good cause with all of us here being together, racing against cancer in the Ardennes.
True Blanchiment.
Now, oui.
And I talked to Robert earlier. He's catching on the number 12. So he's trying to overtake him before the end of the race. I'm curious how that works out in the end.
Yeah, to give you one insight, we're now live with David Wals from VR Racing 096. He is also driving alone. And they have a backup driver, but as somebody else from the other VR Racing team has told me, He does not intend to use that second driver.
It's nice. But yeah, I'm a little bit bummed about P6 because I think we could have had it. But let's see what the other 6 hours is gonna give us.
Yeah,
in terms of speed and action.
I have to say, up until now, everybody is really driving clean. Also, really important. Team Ground Effect, one of the teams that made this event possible. They are driving currently in P5. All the way from Hungary. And John in P10 at the moment. Let's see. He's having P9 21.9 seconds in front of him. Hola, Chocolate Fondue driving in P9. And P8 is 33.4 seconds in front of him.
John right now in the car is catching, hopefully.
Yeah, I guess we're almost P6.
He has some good pace today. He did the fastest lap, 2:18.2 from the both of us.
I hope this time he remembers to warm up the tires before pushing too hard. As he told me that was a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I must say, in the cold conditions, like at night when we started, the tires felt way better than now. The track has become very slippery, or the tires are degrading faster. I'm not sure what's happening, but
Yeah.
it's a lot slipperier out there right now.
Yeah, of course you have to imagine the temperatures are probably rising, so degradation will be a little bit higher on the tires. I don't know if you have looked to how your tires were at the end of your two stints.
Yeah, they were still at 76 on the left front and 81 on the left right, but the right front was at 55. So yeah, maybe also due to my accidents, or I did the mistake, like Charles Leclerc always says.
Oh yes, but you're preserving the tires better than John did at the end of his stint.
Yeah, he was at like 40.
But yeah, he
So
said he made two spins, so that doesn't affect the tires in any good way.
no,
And now we've got Yuri Matthijssen, the other Yuri, back in the number one car. Currently residing on 1 minute and 13 seconds gap in this beautiful yellow Porsche. Really racing a race on their own, I have to say, to both Apex Messieurs. They are driving very consistently also when you look to the gap. Yes, it opened up, but then it stays consistently and somewhat with some pit stops and driver swaps. It just evens out one way or another.
I see on my screen Robert just overtook the next few car from P13 to P12.
Let's see if we can get on board. And there we are. He already has a 6.1 seconds gap on. No, he hasn't. He's still in P12.
Really? Oh, then my RaceLab apps is acting up.
That sometimes can happen. But he overtook P13. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that he did. But I also don't see them very close to him. So let's see if we can find them. We are currently in Lacombe. It's quite a gap that Robert already built up. So I have to say, I think P11 is a little bit out of reach for him. And given that he has to make up 8 laps. But yeah, you never know what happens. Let's hope all the cars stay on track. Just some touching here and there. But no big incidents. So from one driver that's driving alone to the other. From Robert to David Waals. He's currently in P3. And Team Ground Effect still in P5. Making their way through. Having quite a gap to the front, but They are also have no real danger from the back since they are 3 laps behind. On board with John, having the amazing mustache in the front. Since today we are driving to support the Mustache Foundation. You can donate via the links in the description or in the chat. And John is getting close to the number 9. Only for 4.4 seconds, 4.3, 4.2. I think he...
Gonna be a nice battle then.
That Porsche of Bright Esport had some touching on the left front. Still is driving. In the meantime, John is getting closer. In 3.3, 3.4 seconds now. But there, Philip slides a little. But was able to keep it on track. Of course, he's feeling the pressure from behind. Because John is getting up to speed. His tires are warm. Already brought it down to 2.5 seconds.
Nick, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna talk to you in a while.
See you around, Gino. Take care.
You too.
Well, John is getting closer and closer, little bit by little bit. And now getting it under 2 seconds. Currently following Bright Esports. And John even getting to 1.2 seconds. But of course, following is one, overtaking is where the real struggle lies. John is getting on the tail. 0.2 seconds. .1. John is in front. Is he? Can he put it now around the outside? Yes. And he passed. A very nice clean fight next to each other. And then the one is on the inside and the other on the inside. But John was able to overtake. Now the next beat for John at least is Ola from Chocolate Fondue Racing. Now being in P8. But of course Ola is hunting on P7, Trash Car Custom. Was driving 32.9 seconds in front. Look to the beautiful moustache on that Mercedes. And once again, we're today live at the 046 Movember charity race, where we are racing against cancer. And you can donate via the links in the description or in the chat. Please feel free to support this race in Spa-Francorchamps in the middle of the Ardennes in Belgium. On board with number 1, Yuri Matthijssen. Together with other Yuri are driving for Apex Mrs. Yellow. And currently in P1. And with a lead of 1 minute and 10 seconds to the other Apex Missers. And all other teams are put to 1 lap. Currently driven 167 laps. And 168 is about to start. As we see them pass the finish line. Making it up to La Source. Of course, there you have to set up the car for Rouge, so you can carry all that speed down the Camel Straight. Trash Car Custom, Kenneth. Running P7, chasing David Brown of VK Sim Sports. Still there is a gap of 11.6 seconds. And behind him he has a lead on Ola of his chocolate fondue of 32 seconds. Let's get on board with David Brown in the BMW. Robert Hermans currently in P12, driving on his own completely this race. Already 6.5 hours, just over half. On board with Daniel from VR Racing. Currently residing in P11. And we're getting more towards the P10. Currently 11.6 seconds away. Let's see if we can see that he gets it under 10 seconds. And yes, he does. Right, esports in P10, but having Daniel coming their way. But still, 10 seconds is a long way to go. And we still have at least 5 hours on our hand and 19 minutes, so still a lot can happen. See how the number 2 is doing. Apex misses Johnny Koning today in the car. Currently on a distance of 1 minute and 1 minute and 7 seconds behind the other Apex misses team. Is making steps up front on the way to Rouge. Setting the car up for the camel straight, carrying all that speed. A small lift will be punished at the end of the camel straight. Johnny Koning still in P2 for Apex Missers, and still this gap is just over 1 minute with the other Apex Missers team in P1, currently residing on this beautiful circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. And now we're on David Wiles on board, who is driving this race on his own. He's just passing John Casey. A blue flag was being waved because John is in P9, while David Wells of VR Racing 096 is in P3. He's the best of the two Apex Missers teams at the moment. In P5, currently residing Team Ground Effect, also one of the sponsors of this race, so big shout out to them, not only for racing here on track but also making this race possible. If you also want to support the Movember Foundation, the race against cancer, you can do that via the link in the description and in the chat. Currently Team Ground Effect is just 2.2 seconds behind Rudy Versteeg of Red Lantern Racing. I'm curious, will there be a move, or are they going to defend as hard as they can? Of course, especially these two drivers are battling for the P4 position. Now on board with Rudy Versteeg, as we see in the back, Team Ground Effect. And there you see he was able to extend the lead a little bit to 2.7 seconds, while before it was 2.2. Chocolate Fondue with a nice moustache on front of that Mercedes. Driving in P8, 40 seconds ahead of them is Kenneth of Trash Car Custom, who is his direct rival on track, but some faster cars are approaching him. Hopefully they will be very easily for him to pass. Kenneth in P7, Trash Car Custom, we just told. Look at that white moustache on front of the BMW. It's looking good. Movember style all the way. And now back on board with our number one racer. Both juries from Apex Missers until now in the car, carrying the car forward to a lead of 1 minute and 4 seconds. Still on a 1:04 second lead. 1 minute and 4 seconds. Our number one driver, Yuri. David Brown, he just passed. Bright Esports currently in P11. Having to unlap themselves for 4 laps before they can pass. Daniel of iRacing 069. We see some cars in the pits. Getting out now. Number 2 and 3, very close. But on board with John in the Ferrari. Second time in the car. Currently in P9. As P10 8.2 seconds behind him. P8 7.6 seconds in front of him. And we're getting close to the 7-hour mark of the race. That means that we still have full 5 hours to go. On board with Yuri. Apex misses yellow. 1 minute and 30 seconds in the lead to the other Apex misses team. Or currently holding position 1 and 2. Really P7 on the tail of Robert Hermans, who's driving this race all alone. Just set as our number 3 driver of iRacing 096. Both trying to finish this race while they will be the only driver in the car. Big shout out to them. I would not even dare to try. After some hours, I really need to get focused again, get out of the car, not being able to drive 12 hours in a row. And there he is, Robert. Back in P13, 11.3 seconds. Ahead of him is Next View Consulting within the car, Ralph Knoops. We are on board with him. He's just passing the finish line. And back to Rudy Versteeg, who is driving for Red Lantern Racing at the moment in P4. David is the one in front of him he has to beat if he wants to gain a position. On the camel straight. Daniel of iRacing 069, nearly in P10. May have caught there an off track, or just got away with it. We saw some dust flying off the track. It's a beautiful track of Spa-Francorchamps in the middle of the Ardennes in Belgium. And now here we are with John, all the way from the USA, cancer survivor. We're very to have him here to be able to drive here on track. There was able to correct a little bit of a slide, keep the car on the track, getting through the bus stop, forward, and now over the finish line to Lassours. Setting up the car to go fully flat to Orange. Lifting not helpful because you will leave out that space on the camel straight. Into the comp he goes. On board with Frank Smits from Apex Mrs. Spring. Just 1 minute and 32 seconds behind the number 1, the other Apex Mrs. team. on board with Team Ground Effect. Not only racing, but also making this race possible together with GK Design. On his way to Rouge. On board with Mr. Wiles, who is driving on his own together with Robert.
Hoi Nick. Fijn. Wie kan ich dann dich informeren? Beste. Alright.
So Gurley on board with David Wiles driving alone on Spa-Francorchamps. Already has over 7 hours on the clock in this 12-hour race. Trash car custom, Gurley in P7, getting closer and closer towards David Brown. The car in front in P6 currently. Of VK Sim Sports, 1.5 seconds.
Ja, doch maar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back very shortly. Because of some technical issues, we have to restart the broadcasting software. Sorry for this interruption, but we will be back as fast as.
Ja, nog maar.
On board with number 1, Juri Matthijssen from Apex Missers. There's a 1 minute and 36-second lead on the other Apex Missers team. And currently on Spa-Francorchamps, just over 7.5 hours, we are already racing. Today we're racing against cancer during the 046 Racing Movember charity race. The beautiful Ardennes in Belgium give us the possibility to collect money. You can donate via the link in the chat and together race against cancer. On board with John Casey at the moment in P8. It's getting closer towards Daniel of VR Racing with only 3.8 seconds in front of him. But he is not safe completely because 8 seconds behind him is Chocolate Fondue with the driver Darnell Williams.
Check even WhatsApp, Nick. Ik gewoon even naar John, want ik moet hem zo overnemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, given some technical difficulties, we will start with part 3 of the streaming in a little bit. Hope to see you then, back then. Sorry for the